reason I think Trump's numbers are going up so high with men, because there are a lot of men who are pro-choice too, is just what we've done to men for the past 15 plus years in this country. I just think that men, and this isn't racial. It's white, black, Hispanic. Men are sick and tired. It's not just of being kicked around. Men can take being kicked around, of being told you're nothing. It's more than that. It's worse than that you're evil. It's that you're nothing. You can't have a job. You are no longer in the running in the American race to improve your life. You're out. It's the same thing as reparations. That earlier generations committed sins that must be revisited upon the present generation, even if they don't have a racist bone in their body, even if they weren't here their families weren't here to support slavery, etc. That's what we're doing to men. That's what we've been doing, and truly yanking the American dream away from them. And I really think that's what's baked into those numbers.
So let's talk about Megyn Kelly, this racist white woman, right, who claims she's not racist, right? These are some of the most deceptive people, right, ever in the history of the world, right, ever. And it shows why you can't trust anybody, particularly if you're black. Trust no one. You have no friends, right? So she goes on to say she don't got a racist bone in her body. Her and her people had nothing to do with slavery. I don't know, maybe she's a white immigrant who just got here 20 years ago, right? But let's get some shit straight, right? This is the same thing you hear from them. Why didn't she say it just like the Holocaust or something, right? Because they won't besmirch white Jewish people. But you will besmirch black people every chance they get. They'll denigrate you, right? Diminish you, right? Try to bash your justice claim and say, we didn't have nothing to do with slavery, right? We shouldn't have to pay reparations, right? We're not racist, right? And just wash their hands of the whole thing. But you are in the United States, right? Doesn't matter if you're from Mexico, Ireland. First, let's deal with a couple of things. Wherever you're from, you came here, right? I don't give a fuck if you got here 5 minutes ago or 500 years ago. This is the United States of America. In case you didn't fucking notice, right? And when you came here, everything that belongs to America now belongs to you. It doesn't matter when it happened, right? It doesn't matter if it was the Korean War, Vietnam, Iran, Gaza Strip, the Iraqi War, where they killed 1 million people, the war in Ukraine. So I'm about to tell you some shit, right? Slavery, Jim Crow, World War II, World War I, which my grandparents fought in, both of my grandfathers, may they rest in peace, fought in the wars. So I don't give a fuck where you from and when you got here. Let's just be clear. I'm ADOS. Let's be fucking clear. I don't give a fuck when you got here. We've been here. Fighting wars, World War I, World War II. I'm looking at 3 pictures right now. World War II, Vietnam, and my great-grandfather, World War I. Right? For the Nazis. So I don't give a fuck when you got here. Right? We've been here putting in work. Right? Putting in work. So I don't give a fuck how you talk about, yo, we work, we hard working. What the fuck are you talking about, you hard working? I don't give a fuck about you being hard working. Nobody worked harder than slaves, bitch. Nobody worked harder than people that lived through Jim Crow and they get paid what the fuck they was owed. Couldn't own homes, couldn't build, got their shit stolen, their land stolen from them. Right? So I don't give a fuck when you got here, when you was born. You own this motherfucker just like I do. You stuck here. We was stuck here for hundreds of years and we own it, so you own it. I don't care if you're from Mexico, Colombia, Brazil, Africa, Ukraine, right? The debt is the debt. This is America. You fucking own it. You wanted to be here? You ran your ass across the border. You jumped on a plane. You got in a boat. I don't give. You swam in the ocean. You jumped out of a plane, paragliding, whatever the fuck. However the fuck you got here, the debt is the debt. Now you owe the debt. You're responsible, right? The same way, right? You're responsible if, just let's say, the government keeps fucking with them Russians and they decide to nuke the United States. Well, Megyn Kelly, you're going to get fucking nuked. It doesn't matter. You say, well, I just got here. I ain't got nothing to do with what happened in Russia. What the American government is, and your people, motherfuckers you voted for, is supplying the weapons and the logistics and the troops, right, to attack Russia and be on their border. So you can't, and if the Russians say, well, you know what, I'm tired of this shit, nuke them fucking Americans, right? What you gonna say? Oh, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I wasn't in Ukraine. I wasn't on the Russian border. No, you're just gonna get nuked. Why? Because you're connected, you're a United States citizen. You own the debt. You understand what I'm saying? You're involved whether you fucking like it or not. If you didn't like it and you didn't want to be involved in slavery or Jim Crow or racism against blacks, you should have stayed the fuck where you was at. That go for all y'all. Right? I don't give a fuck if you from Mexico, if you from Colombia, if you from Ireland, if you from Ethiopia, if you from Brazil, if wherever the fuck you from, El Salvador. If you didn't want to be involved, you should have stayed where the fuck you was at. Not come to America and start talking shit to black people, because the fight is still the fight. We still fighting. You bitch ass motherfuckers fled where you was from. That's right, I said it. You a bunch of bitch ass motherfuckers who fled where you was from and then came here and tell people about what you ain't got nothing to do with. Well, if you ain't got nothing to do with it, take your motherfucking monkey ass back where you came from. To Ireland or South Africa or Ukraine or Mexico or Colombia or Ethiopia or South Africa, wherever the fuck you from. Morocco, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Afghanistan, Palestine. I don't give a fuck where you from. I'm tired of hearing this shit. I ain't got nothing to do with that, right? But when something happened to motherfuckers, the first thing they want to talk about is my civil rights, my, civil rights, this and that and the third. There wouldn't be no civil rights if it wasn't for black people. And if you ain't want nothing to do with black people and their struggle that's still ongoing, if they talk about reparations and Jim Crow and all that kind of shit, then don't bring up civil rights. Don't keep talking, because we was the ones that pushed that kind of thing. My ancestors and Jim Crow pushed that. Right? So don't bring that up. Oh, but you want to bring that up. Oh yeah, my civil rights, and you know what I mean, blah, 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 and this, that, and the third. I'm an anchored baby, right? The 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment was for descendants of slaves, not anchored babies from Mexico and Colombia and the Ukraine, wherever the fuck you, Philippines, or wherever you from. It wasn't for you. We did that. My ancestors under Jim Crow and the Remanents of slavery. Let's get this shit correct. So if you come to the United States, motherfucker, you own the debt. You down by law, right? Whatever America did, you did it. Whatever America involved in, you involved in. If Vladimir Putin and Iran and North Korea nuked the United States today, well, my black ass gonna get nuked. Why? Because I live in America and I'm involved in it, whether I like it or not. Do I support that shit? Fuck no, right? But where the fuck am I go to? I own the debt. I own the debt. If they go over there and fuck with those people, The best thing I can do is vote for somebody who don't support fucking with them. That's the only thing I can do. But if they go over there and bomb somebody's country and then they turn around and attack the United States, and I live in the United States, I can't be like, yo, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I live in Kansas. I wasn't in Iraq. I wasn't in Iran. I wasn't in North Korea. I'm not in the military. I don't got nothing to do with that. How the fuck I look saying that? I'm involved, whether I like it or not. They involve me. That's politics. That's society, right? That's part of my citizenship. I'm involved whether I like it or not. So are you. We clear on that? So I don't want to hear nobody else complaining about black people and talking about, I just got here, I don't got nothing to do with it, or I wasn't born in that time. I wasn't born during slavery. But you was born on Jim Crow, right? A lot of y'all white people, now to the white people like her, who her family probably I don't know if she's an immigrant or not, but let's just say she's not. And they've been here, her and her people that she talking about been here for, and I don't give a fuck if she is some white person only been here for 100 years. Y'all was here doing 50 years, 75, 100 years. Y'all was here doing Jim Crow, right? Okay, then you a group of the white, you join with the white people to support an apartheid system that came out of slavery against the blacks in America. Did you or did you not? Yes, you're fucking guilty. The debt is the debt. Right? You fornicated with the devil. You came here and you got involved with these people and married into their families. Right? She's probably married, if it ain't her, she married some white man who probably ancestors was there during the Civil War or something, right? Okay, well then, bitch, you part of it. Don't tell me no shit about y'all don't got nothing to do with reparations and you can't, black people can't bring up reparations for slavery, but then skip over Jim Crow when all her and all her people was alive. It's millions of black people that was alive during Jim Crow. That's why she don't want to talk about it. And she's trying to make it seem outlandish if a black person say reparations. Oh yeah, and these black people talking about reparations. Bitch, why is reparations in your mouth? The first thing she says, I don't want to make it racial, but then start talking about black people in slavery and reparations. So that she could diminish the justice struggle of black people in the United States. Because she's a fucking racist. And she don't like black people, right? So it's like, shut up, nigger. Don't be bringing up no reparations. Nah. The debt is the debt. If you came here, you're involved. If you've been here, you're involved. It doesn't matter if you wasn't alive. And see, the reason they don't say, well, my family wasn't involved in Jim Crow. Well, let's not go back to slavery. Let's go to Jim Crow. Do you know why this white bitch won't say, oh yeah, my family, instead of using slavery, they always skip Jim Crow and go right to slavery. Why? They make it seem outlandish. Because if they said Jim Crow, well, millions of black people is still alive from Jim Crow. And millions, her white family, hundreds, millions of white people that was involved is still alive and here in the United States. Right? Right? So you got to say something. You got to try to make it seem outlandish that black people got a fucking problem. And say, oh, well, I wasn't, we didn't own slaves. I wasn't alive during slavery. But you were alive during Jim Crow, right? Yeah. Huh. Why didn't you just say Jim Crow? Which is an extension of slavery, right? But you was doing a lot of the same oppressive shit to black people up until damn near 1970. You don't want to use that as an example? When you bringing up men's rights and all this other bullshit and all these thick-ass comparatives? Why you don't bring up Jim Crow? Which was, they try to say, oh, it was just in the South. No, it wasn't. Just in the fucking South. It was a system that existed in the United States all over. Just like apartheid South Africa. They were lynching people in Denver, Colorado. They lynched a black man on his fucking lunch break. While he worked for the railroad, he was sitting there eating a sandwich. A bunch of white people came up, grabbed him on his lunch break, and killed him and lynched him. This is insane, man. So they were doing, this was all over the United States. But they never say, well, I had nothing to do with Jim Crow and apartheid, because they all had something to do with it, and most of them are still alive. Like her and her family. And so they don't want to be held accountable for shit that they've done. So they got to try to make the black people seem like black people are being unreasonable. But no, you just the goddamn devil. That's all. Black people ain't being unreasonable. Right? They try to make you seem crazy, unreasonable, outlandish. You're making these outlandish claims of reparations and justice claims and talking about, racial discrimination. I don't have a racist bone in my body. Bitch, the reason why you just did what you did is because you're a racist. If you didn't, you wouldn't even have did no shit like that. Black people must live in these motherfuckers' mind rent-free. Because if not, why do you use, I don't know, the Holocaust or something? I don't know. Something that ain't had nothing to do with black people. And you notice they all do the same thing. I don't want to belabor the point. They're always, slavery. And these black people talking about reparations. They all do it. I don't care if they Mexican, white people, Asians. They come here and disrespect black people. The descendants of slaves. I ain't talking about black immigrants, because they do the same shit. Whether they from Haiti or Jamaica, right? Or they want a free ride. They don't want you to delineate and say that, listen, you ain't no descendants of slaves from America. This ain't you ain't got nothing coming. Hey man, you being xenophobic. No, I can't go to fucking Jamaica and make a justice claim. Right? Or England, or wherever the fuck you from, or Brazil, and go to the Portuguese and make a justice claim. It's just common sense shit. Which ain't real common nowadays. So knock that shit off, man. Knock it off with the bullshit. Because it's real see-through, right? It's real see-through. And one thing, this South African woman, she made a comment, but as far as reparations and getting what's due, right? I like what she said. She said, listen, the white people, I'm not interested in you giving me reparations, right? Giving our land back and all that kind of shit. She said, we're going to take it. Right? And that's what I agree. I ain't interested in begging nobody for nothing. Right? Because I already know how you are. I know how these people is. Right? I ain't interested in begging them for justice claims. Will I be vocal and say yes? We have a justice claim as descendants of slaves on this country? Yes, we do. Because we've been in this country for hundreds of years and we've been through slavery and Jim Crow, bitch. So yes, I'm going to say that and be vocal about it. Do I want you to, in the words of the South African woman, do I want you to give it to me? No, I would much rather, be in a position where I can demand what I want. Not beg a bunch of racist immigrants and white people. Just put it like that. I'm more interested in demanding what I want. Just like on the street, I don't ask a motherfucker to respect me. I'm gonna be cool about it. But if you step across the line, I'm gonna take my respect from you. I'm not gonna stand up and be like, you don't respect me, blah blah blah. Nah, motherfucker. You violate, I'm gonna take my respect from you. So you don't gotta worry about it. You're gonna learn the hard way. Just like they are. Right? These white people like Megyn Kelly, and the rest of them, they're gonna learn the hard way. Not from black people begging them for reparations. It's gonna be more like the story in the Bible, in the book of Joel. That's what's going to happen to them. Reparations is not going to be given by them. It's going to be taken from them. That's what it's called, karma. That's what's going to happen to them. I mean, that's quite obvious, right? That they're going to get, the reparations for black people in America, the descendants of slaves, is going to come in the form of karma. You can read it in the book of Joel, for instance. You see? Where, matter of fact, let's read it. Let's end on that. Yeah, so let's read it, right? Let's read the words of God, all these Christians, right? All these horrible Christians in America, right? Talking about Megyn Kelly. Let's read this to Megyn Kelly, right? Like I said, see, black people, the Lord is going to take reparations. Reparations is going to be taken from these people in the form of karma, right? It's not going to be given freely by them. And let me show you what I mean. Chapter 3, right? Joel chapter 3. For behold, in those days, and at that time when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. A lot of y'all probably know that this is in the Bible. This is a prophecy that's about to come true. I will gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I will plead with them there for my people, for my heritage, Israel, the 12 tribes, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Are the white Jews in Israel scattered, Israel Palestine scattered, or are they all there today since 1948 and been brought together? They've been all brought together and come together, and so that's not talking about them, right? You have to be scattered. They're not scattered, right? So we know that this is a prophecy that's going to happen that doesn't involve them. It says, for you have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Who is scattered? Well, where's the largest black population outside of Africa? That would be Brazil, just to make this brief, right? Not America. Just a hint for your fucking ass, right? And you parted my land. What does parted land mean, right? You mean like Israel, Palestine, Gaza, West Bank, 50 United States, 50 parts, Brazil, right? Mexico, Costa Rica, Argentina, Philippines, blah, 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 Australia. You parted my land. This doesn't belong to them. But the people that actually it does belong to are going to come and take it back. That's what I mean. This is what this is about. And they cast lots for my people and have given a boy for a harlot and a girl for a wine, sold a girl for a wine that they might drink. Slavery, right? They sold a boy for a whore, right? You mean like gay marriage in America? They sold little boys for whores, right? Buck breaking. And sold girls for wine that they might drink. Slavery. See, this is what he's talking about. Y'all didn't know this was in the Bible, did y'all? Megyn Kelly probably got a cross on her neck. So this goes out to Megyn Kelly and all the people like her, right? Yea, what have thee to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon and all the coast of Palestine, right? Where the Arabs were selling slaves. Will ye render me a recompense? Will you give me reparations? And if you give me reparations swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? You see? So it talks about a recompense. It's like reparations. Will you give me a reparations, Megyn Kelly? Will you give me a reparations, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, George Bush, America? Will you give me reparations, America? No, you won't. So what's going to happen to you? Let's jump down to 6 and find out what's going to happen to you. Because ye have taken my silver and gold and carried it into your temples and all my goodly pleasant things. Right? You stole all the gold and silver from the people in Africa and in America and the Indians in America and everywhere and in Mexico. Right? Let's jump down to 6. And the children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Greeks. Right? So you sold the real Judeans right? Not the false Jew, Revelations 2 and 9, but the real Judeans, you sold them to the Greeks, the Europeans, right? To remove them far from their border. Well, if they far from their border, they couldn't be in the state of Israel, Palestine, right? Because he's saying, when he came here, when he's saying that this is the conversation of the Lord of hosts, the Messiah, with the Americans. This is the conversation of the Lord of hosts that Joel is prophesizing he is going to have with Donald Trump and Megyn Kelly, right? And King Charles in England, and the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and the Prime Minister of Australia. This is the conversation that he predicted is going to happen between Megyn Kelly and all these people and the Messiah, who they think is coming to save them, right? What is he saving Megyn Kelly for? She said, I don't give a fuck about reparations, help nobody. What is she? Because she don't need to be saved from nothing. She don't need reparations. She don't need no help, right? He said, behold, he said, and you took them far from their borders. You mean like the black people in Brazil that's far from their borders 400, 500 years later that can trace their DNA to somewhere else? You mean those people in Haiti? You mean those niggers in Baltimore, Megyn Kelly, that can trace their DNA to somewhere else far from their borders, who have no fucking idea where they came from or what language they spoke? Those people, see, the book of Joel is very timely, right? And so let's jump down to 7. He says, behold, Megyn Kelly, I will raise them out of the place where you sold them, and I will return a recompense upon your head. So Megyn, see, that's what I said. I'm not interested in getting reparations from Megyn Kelly or Donald Trump or America or a bunch of immigrant border jumpers talking shit. Right? A bunch of fleeing ass cowards. That's all you are. If you fled your country to come to America to talk shit to descendants of slaves, you ain't shit. You ain't nothing but a fucking coward. A piece of shit coward that came from somewhere else where you couldn't cut it, motherfucker. And then you came here and talked shit to black people that been here for 500 years fighting and struggling for their fucking life. Talking about you working hard. Nobody works harder than a fucking slave. What are you talking about? Right? Let's read. And then he says, behold, I will raise them out of the place whither you have sold them. Baltimore, Haiti, Mexico, El Salvador, Argentina, Brazil, Trinidad, Jamaica, Baltimore, California, Denver, Florida, Texas, wherever, right? I will raise them out of the place where you sold them, and I'm going to return what you did to them onto your head, Megyn Kelly. You understand? You understand where we're going with this? You understand? So what you're doing is just fulfilling the prophecy. Megyn Kelly and her people is doing it in public, is fulfilling Bible prophecy as we speak. And I will sell your sons, Megyn Kelly. Your children, your little white babies gonna get sold, Megyn Kelly. Gonna get chained up and sold according to scripture, not me. Right? And I will sell your sons and your daughters, right, into the hands of the children of Judah. And they shall sell them to the Sabaeans, to a people far off, for the Lord has spoken this, Megyn Kelly, not me. Black Bodhisattva not speaking this, right? Who spoke this? The Lord of hosts spoke to Joel in a dream and told him about the end times, Megyn Kelly. And Donald Trump, right? What does this say? Did I say it? He said, and I will sell your sons and your daughters. This is the word of the Lord. This is the word of the Lord given to Joel in a dream about the end times. And right, when you talk, oh, we're gonna get raptured. Oh, we're gonna get a rapture, and we're gonna turn in the light and flop in the sky. No, you're not. You're going into fucking slavery. If the Bible is correct, unless the Lord is a liar. See, Megyn Kelly and Donald Trump and the rest of these white people complaining about, black people complaining about reparations, never read the book of Joel. Because if they did, they would have read their judgment. And they just fulfilling prophecy. Every time she spit in the face of black people, one of these people spit in the face of a descendant of slaves in America, they are fulfilling Bible prophecy. What did the Lord of hosts in the dream, the Messiah, Jesus Christ, tell Joel? He said, and I will sell your sons, Megyn Kelly, right, and all of your daughters into the hands of the children of Judah. Who are the children of Judah? Is it the Jews in Israel? Is that what you think? That's why you got a cross on? Better take that cross off, right? And they said, and they shall sell them to the Sabaeans. The Sabaeans are the Yemenis, in my analysis. I could be wrong. But I think the Sabaeans are probably the Yemenis, right? And to a people far off, for the Lord of hosts has spoken it. Amen. Let's read on. Let's finish this shit off, man. Because it's not a game. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare for war, Megyn Kelly. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near and let them come up. Let's read down. Drop down to 10. Right? Beat your plowshares into swords, Megyn Kelly, and your pruning hooks into spears, and let the weak say that I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all you heathens. Megyn Kelly is a fucking heathen, right? All you border jumping heathens, right? And gather yourselves together round about thither, because the mighty ones come down, O Lord. You see, the mighty one is coming down. The mighty one shall come down, the Lord of hosts. He says it twice, right? He said, gather the heathen together. The heathen, Donald Trump is a heathen. Megyn Kelly is a heathen. All these border jumping heathens, right? It said, now let the heathen, let the heathen be wake up. I'm telling you, it's the words of Joel, right? The dream given to him is the words of the Lord of hosts. He said, let the heathen wake up and come to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit and judge all heathens round about. Who is a heathen? Benjamin Netanyahu is a filthy heathen. Let's be clear. You see? And here's the prophecy of Benjamin Netanyahu. He said, let the heathen be wakened and come down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Where is Jehoshaphat? That's outside of Tel Aviv. For you stupid motherfuckers in America. Right? Let the heathen be awakened and come to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit in judgment, all heathens round about. So all the people that they coming down there, you know, they sending the U.S. troops into Israel, right? All of the motherfuckers from Poland. Benjamin Netanyahu is from Poland. He's a heathen that has been gathered round about. He is not the descendants of Judah and Jerusalem. He's a heathen in the synagogue of Satan, right? 13, put ye in a sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full, and the fats overflow, for the wickedness is great. What's more wicked than killing 200,000 people in the Gaza Strip and starving them to death? Megyn Kelly, Donald Trump, Benjamin Netanyahu, America. You said, I had nothing to do with that. I wasn't here doing slavery. Why do I gotta pay reparations? I don't know. The same reason you're gonna pay for killing them 200,000 people in the Gaza Strip. That wasn't during slavery. That was recently. That was about a few weeks ago. Right? The same reason that the synagogue of Satan stand up in the U.S. Congress and all your leadership get on their feet and start clapping. That wasn't 150 years ago. That was about a few weeks ago. He said, your wickedness is great and your wickedness overflows, right? He said, multitudes, let's jump down to 14. Multitudes and multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. It didn't say black people was going to get reparated. The sins of slavery and the sins of Judah and Jerusalem, right, was going to get reparations from Donald Trump and Megyn Kelly. It said the decision was going to be passed by the Lord on Megyn Kelly and her people and Donald Trump and the rest of them and Benjamin Netanyahu. Right? It said, just drop down to 15. The sun and the moon going to be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Something's going to happen in the space. Right? And the Lord also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem. He shall land ships in what is called Palestine today. Right? Israel, Palestine, whatever you want to call it. Joel said the Lord told him, he shall roar out of Zion, and he shall utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the whole earth will shake from him bombing it. But the Lord of hosts will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. Is he talking about Megyn Kelly, who said, black people need to stop talking about reparations? I don't got nothing to do with them. I don't have nothing to do with that. We didn't own slaves. That's not what the Bible says. Right? So the whole earth gonna shake. Right? You're gonna damage your amateurs. Right? The whole earth gonna shake. Right? From him bombing the shit out of this planet. And you're not gonna be able to stop him. Right? So it doesn't matter about reparations. Right? But he said the Lord will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. He's not talking about Megyn Kelly. I didn't own slaves. Well, I wish you black people stop talking about reparations. Bitch, I'm not talking about it. I'm not worried about you. I already know what's going to happen to you and your people. So shall ye know that I am the Lord of hosts, your God, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall be no strangers shall pass through it again. The people, what does that sound to you? The people that's in Israel claiming to be Jews are strangers. They're not supposed to be there. 17, Joel, right? Let's finish this off. Right? And it shall come to pass. What does that mean? It's going to happen. That in that day the mountains shall drop down new wine, and the hills shall flow with milk, and the rivers of Judah shall flow with water, right? And the Lord, in the house of the Lord, and shall water the valley of Shittim, etc. Right? But then 19 is interesting. He says, Egypt shall be a desolation. Drop down to 19. Right? Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom a desolate wilderness. For the violence against the children of Judah, they have shed innocent blood in their land. You see? It says on 21, let's end it. For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed, for the Lord shall dwell in Zion. Amen. Let's end on that. Right? So that's the prophecy for Megyn Kelly and all her people. Right?